Morning folks, Phil here again from Telford Koi Pond. Only a shortish video this week because I've not really been up to anything super special other than the normal pond jobs. A couple of things that I do want to cover is the drum inlets and outlets, because this is something that seems to be cropping up quite a lot with on other YouTubers' sites. I'm getting asked lots and lots of questions about it. Also, what I've done to try and clear the dead spot where all the poo was gathering in the pond that I had to keep sweeping up. And first, and probably the most important, is by the time you're watching me blabber on now, you will have realised that my introduction to the video has been substantially shortened. So lots of comments, so after much demand I've cut it down, so it's only about 30 seconds long now. So yeah, let me know what you think. You know, as things keep changing, we'll make different ones, but yeah, just let me know what you think of the intro video. So I'll show you what I've been up to in a couple of seconds. So as you will have seen from previous videos, because of the problems we had in the pond build and the fact that it's longer and narrower than it should have been, and only having one drain sort of towards that end slightly, I get a collection of koi waste down this one corner. It's not a problem in so much as, you know, I've only got to shove a vacuum in there for 10 minutes and it's all gone. That's fine, but I'd rather try not to have it, basically. So after my last video, several people suggested putting an air stone in this corner to get some sort of circulation and push the waste back towards the middle of the pond. So that's what I've done. I got hold of I think it's 200mm. I don't even think it's a brand of any description, to be honest with you. Cheap as chips air stone off Amazon, I think it was. It's 8 inches, so 200mm plate air stone for koi ponds. As I say, I don't think there's any manufacturer's name on here, but just a little bit of a tip for the manufacturer. If you're telling us something's for koi ponds, don't put a picture of tropical fish and coral reefs on there. It sort of throws you off. But anyway, cheap as chips. So that's in the pond. What I've done, I've tried a separate air pump to start with. So I've got a 10 litre swell, again cheap as chips air pump, really reliable, but it wasn't quite enough. So what I've done, this is the 40 litre a minute that feeds the bottom drain, and what I have to do is, the 40 litres a minute is quite ferocious. It's a bit like a jacuzzi. So what I was doing was teeing this off to another piece of tube and basically just running air, and that was it, just as a bit of an escape valve. But what I've done now, I've put a tube, as you can see, that's actually the bottom drain air, that's the new air stone I've put in. So that goes round the back and through the wall where you can see the hose pipe coming into the filter house. So that goes outside, and we'll just pop outside now and I'll show you what that looks like at the minute. Okay, so outside at the pond, so as I say, the air line comes out through the wall here where all the piping comes out for the air source heat pump. This is only temporary. If it works, I'll hardwire it in properly, but for the moment I've just got an air line coming into the pond and the circular air stone on the bottom. So I've not got I couldn't turn it up a lot more, to be honest with you, but I'm just trying it at this for the minute. What is noticeable straight away is the poo that was all round the air stone has sort of dissipated. It's got further into the pond now, and every now and again you can see poo actually floating like it's doing a loop. So I'm hoping that loop will take it down to the bottom drain, but everything seems to be okay at the minute. The skimmer's still working. Yeah, I'd say I'm going to leave it on, leave it for a week. I'm not going to play with it or anything, just see how it performs, and if it performs well, I'll pipe it in and get it to be a proper job. So fingers crossed for that. So drum filters and mucky inlets. I'm sure you've all seen other people's videos about the problems they're having and the fixes they're having to put in place. And I, touch wood, have just not to date suffered any problems at all with muck gathering in the drum filter. So people have been asking, you know, what I've done, how my stuff comes in and things like that. So I'm just going to run through it very quickly. First of all, I had a couple of comments last video with a filter saying, what's this bit of plastic doing here? Well, that bit of plastic there is a white zip tie, and it's there to remind me that the cables for the airline and the power cable for this, I don't know if you'll see this, they actually just link on there to make sure that the bit before, quite difficult, without lighting on the filters. Ugh. So what happens here is you've got to cut out here where the pipework comes out of the filter, and when the filter cleans, that obviously gets wet, and that actually runs down here, and obviously at its lowest point it actually drips. So you can see there's a jug there at the bottom. That's how much water's collected in one day. And the reason I'm doing this is because I suppose there's all sorts of ways you could seal this off, but I have the covers off too much, to be honest with you. But the reason I put a jug down there now just to catch the odd drip is because I was coming in at the end of a week, and the floor all round the piping here, the floor was wet, and I didn't realise what it was doing until I put this piece of old matting down, and this end was always wet because of the water running out of there. So it wasn't a lot, but it was just enough to be annoying. Anyway, that's what the white thing is for. The other question people have asked as well is about the outlet, so the waste outlet. So why have I changed it to a 4-inch pipe? So this is the same, that's the same. What I had on here was a 4-inch to 2-inch rubber. So basically just a normal one of those. But what was happening, if you think about that inside, what was happening is this here, that level was getting full up with rubbish before it then started to drain round. So I didn't want that, obviously. I don't know what's living in there, what's lurking in there. So it's straight into a 4-inch pipe now that goes straight to waste. So down there is my my waste. So this is the flush for the actual drum filter. When I open this valve or open the valve on the individual unit, this is just the waste for the drum, and then that pipe there is the overflow, which obviously serves as my trickle out as well. And I put that on there simply because if ever I'm doing any jobs, you can guarantee if I drop a screw it's going to fall through there. So there you go, happy days. Right, I'm going to get the top off this now, and then I'll show you my inlets, and hopefully I can explain why I don't get any rubbish build up. So this is week 3 of using this, or the trial I'm doing on the Oase pond pads. So as you can see, still a lot of it floating. It does say on the package 6 to 8 weeks to get to neutral buoyancy, but you can definitely see more of it coming round now in the spin cycle, as it were. But anyway, it's looking good so far. It's starting to colour up some of it, so I'm quite happy with that. But the real reason for this conversation is drum filters. So some people are getting really bad build-up of rubbish in their drum filter down there. And I think personally it's because of how their pipework in is configured. So I spoke to the Oase guys when I was obviously thinking of buying one of these, and I was told basically the golden rule is use both bottom inlets, with your main feed, if possible, being the one that sits nearest the back edge. So that's exactly how I've actually done my pipe work, as you know. I've used this 1,000 times before. So my bottom drain comes along underneath the concrete pad, does a U-turn, and then it comes up here. So this is my stand pipe, this is my rodding pipe. So it's just a T piece on here. I've left the insulation on from the winter, but I mean there's nothing on there other than the connections. So we've got a T piece in here, and you can see the water level in the top, and then I've got my movable 90-degree 1-inch thing, which is basically my trickle out, so that's just set at the right level. But anyway, wittering on, my main 4-inch inlet from the T straight through, straight into the bottom right, if you're looking at it from this end, bottom right inlet, which is the one that comes out underneath. So it's the one furthest back at the bottom under there. and my skimmer, which is a separate line coming through the skimmer, through the wall, through here. It's the back pipe there, it comes through there, down here, up here, and then the skimmer goes into the second or the other bottom inlet. And I don't use the top right, and obviously I don't need to use the fourth one either at the minute. But what that does, if you only use one of the bottom outlets, I think what you'll find is that when you can see how dirty that water is in there compared to the water in the buyout tank. That when this water is swirling round, it can sort of push bits. If you're not using one of the inlets, you can push bits and they'll settle in there. Whereas if you've got flow coming out of both inlets, then obviously it keeps it in the drum until the drum eventually filters it out. So I'm not saying that's the explanation. I'm not saying that's the gospel. That's just what I think is happening with mine, and why I'm getting absolutely no crap build up in the rim or in the inlets. I have checked, obviously, so I put my arm in, but I can check and feel this inlet here, which is the top one, and again there's just nothing. There's just nothing collecting in there, and that's just a dead inlet really. I don't know if you can see where my fingers are, but there's nothing going in and nothing going out of that one there. So yeah, I'm not sure that answers everybody's questions, but I genuinely think that's the reason why I'm not getting any problem with build-up in the drum filter. It's simply because I'm using the bottom right one for my primary feed, so that's the 4-inch waste from the bottom drain, and then the other bottom one I'm just using as my skimmer, because I haven't got a separate skimmer line going to a backy shower or anything like that. My skimmer goes into the drum as well. Why have a drum and not use it properly? You can obviously put a third feed in, and I dare say that will change the dynamics a bit more, but that's it. That's as good an answer as I can give. My drum, I'm just so pleased with it. It's been unbelievable from day one. So yeah, all I'm doing now is sort of tinkering, as I say, with the media and bits and pieces. But yeah, hope that answers your question anyway. I'm waffling there, so I'll leave it there. So I'd just like to give a massive shout out to my mate Aid the Koi Keeper. I've done a pond visit before to Aid's pond, and he's been and had a look at mine, so you will have seen Aid before. But as you probably know, I was really struggling with my Pond Vac the other day. It's been going for a while, but it finally gave up the ghost on me. The engine failed, and Aid came to the rescue, and Aid has given me, let me turn you around, a Pond Vac. So I bought this a while ago for himself, but he's never had to use it in his pond. So it's a Pond Expert, Pond Master, Pond Vac, and it's a Pond Vac, and also does like a normal vacuum cleaner as well. You can have it as pond or indoor, which is absolutely superb. So I can hoover the filter out as well. Brand new, basically. So I'm absolutely stunned, overwhelmed with Aid's generosity. Just want to say a massive thank you, mate. This is the first time I'm going to use it, so I'll let you know how I get on with it, but it's all looking good so far. Cheers, buddy. So I think that's about it for this week. Just want to say a shout out to one of my regular viewers, Tom Scott. Thank you very much. Bumped into him yesterday at a barbecue. Very nice, thank you. So thanks, Tom. Thanks for watching. The other thing I would just mention is my 2,000 subscribers. So I've gone past the 2,000 subscriber mark now. Obviously there's a subscribe. Can't get my words out today. There's a subscriber giveaway on the cards. I thought it prudent to let all the charity events that have been happening for Jack the Balding Reefer, help him get back on his feet after his fire. I thought it best to let all that sort of settle. So next couple of weeks, keep your eyes open. I will be doing a bigger and better giveaway. So hopefully there's some decent things to be won, shall we say. But anyway, so take care, be good, enjoy your pond, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers, folks.